Finding the store's secret room. It was 11:59 p.m., and I was bracing myself for yet another overnight shift. You know the ones, the shifts where you're either dragging yourself out of bed or fighting off the urge to curl up and sleep on the nearest shelf. Yeah, that was me, tasked with organizing the back of the store. But little did I know, this shift would turn into a night I'd never forget. As the clock struck midnight, I began my rounds, moving from aisle to aisle, my eyes slowly adjusting to the dim lighting. As I rummaged through the maze of disorganized shelves, I felt the weight of the silence pressing down on me. The only sound was the hum of the air conditioning and the occasional scuffle of my shoes against the concrete floor. Before long, I found myself buried deep in the heart of the back room, surrounded by stacks of cardboard boxes and teetering piles of products. I was on a roll, making progress, and feeling that little flicker of pride that comes from a job well done. But then, just as I was getting into the rhythm, something caught my eye. In the far corner of the room, there was a door. It looked old and forgotten, completely out of place in the otherwise modern store. Intrigued, I decided to check it out, never expecting the turn of events that would follow. As I turned the rusty doorknob, a gust of stale air greeted me, and I stepped into a dimly lit room. It looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. Old shelves lined the walls, covered in a thick layer of dust. But what really grabbed my attention was the enormous, antique safe sitting right in the center of the room. I couldn't resist, I had to know what was inside. I knelt in front of the safe, my heart pounding as I fiddled with the combination lock. After several minutes of trying random numbers, I tried our store's number and heard a satisfying click, and the door swung open. Inside, I found a small, dusty box. As I lifted the lid, my heart skipped a beat. There, nestled in the velvet lining, was a diamond necklace that sparkled like it was worth a fortune. Just as I was admiring the glittering jewels, I heard footsteps approaching the door. Panicking, I slammed the safe shut and sprinted back to my hiding spot among the boxes. My heart raced as the door creaked open, and in walked the last person I ever expected to see, the store manager, Mr. Thompson. He walked straight to the safe, his eyes narrowed with suspicion. As he fiddled with the lock, I couldn't help but feel a wave of guilt wash over me. I had no business snooping around, and now I was in a real pickle. As Mr. Thompson finally opened the safe, he let out a gasp. He looked around the room, his eyes wide with shock, and then something unexpected happened. He started to laugh, a deep, booming laugh that echoed through the room. I couldn't take it anymore, I had to come clean. Stepping out from behind the boxes, I confessed my snooping and apologized profusely. To my surprise, Mr. Thompson just kept laughing. It turned out the diamond necklace was a replica, part of a store promotion from decades ago that had been long forgotten. He assured me I wasn't in trouble and even thanked me for bringing the old room to his attention. As we walked back to the main area, we shared stories of the quirky things we'd found while working overnight shifts. Suddenly, what started as a dreaded task turned into a memorable adventure. It just goes to show that sometimes, the most ordinary nights can turn into extraordinary stories. A neural narration story.